Good morning and welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With your watch page muted, simply click on that link to express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, and if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the stream using a stock account. With that, I'm going to transition in a moment to my photograph so I can share the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and I would encourage anybody who is in the live audience to do exactly the same. Please share the show on any social media platforms that you have at your disposal. Once more, I'm going to say if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. So I've just finished sharing the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and once more I'd ask anybody who is currently in the live stream to do the same. Please share the show on your various different social media platforms. I'll do a few shout outs to the people who are in the chat in just a moment. I'll run through my links, so if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs along the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With your watch page muted, simply click on that link to join the debate and, for the time being at least, express your views on the shape of the Earth entirely unopposed. So let's do a few shout outs to the people who have joined us in the live chat. See who's in here. Globe Thrusters, good to have you here. Says wee. The Rig says hello to me, hello to you. Nichio Snows. Morning Club Bait Nathan. I think he means clickbait. Club bait. Yeah. Flat Earth Accord music. No, just Flat Accord music. Says, here I am. Good to know. William Genska, good to see you. Gibson225 says, hello guys. Tony Ward Deja Vu. Also very pleased to have you here. As and when we get any guests joining, I shall introduce them. For the time being, I shall leave you with my slides of Guess the Movie. Share the show. I have to start pasting the link into the info box after I start the show. Every single time I paste it in, and when I actually go live it disappears for some reason. So the pasted link is now in the info box, should anybody want to join. It was also at the top of the chat feed anyway, so worth knowing if you're a regular and you did want to join the show at the beginning. There is always going to be a link in the chat room. It's my way of testing that the chat room still works, i.e. the feed that's being broadcast is still actually working. I just stick the link to the show in there. So yeah, early joiners, just click on the link on the chat room as opposed to looking for a link that isn't there in the info box, because I will address that as time goes by and just stick it in after we start when I'm sharing the show. JJ, good to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. Says morning. Morning to you too. A few more shout outs to people who've joined us. So, Haunted House, good to have you here. Oops. Fanny Lancer, good to have you here. Agent Detective, good to see you. I haven't missed anybody. Good morning to Chess, good to have you here. A few quick links as we've been on for a quarter of an hour and we're yet to be joined by anybody, which isn't necessarily always the case on these early morning shows, but either way, welcome if you are watching and you're not actually in the chat. So shout out to all of the live viewers who are not chatting. Good to have you here on Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the show, you can still hit the super chat that runs alongside while it is live. But if you would like to join the show, there is a link in the info box below this video with your watch page muted. So the page that you are actually looking at now needs to be muted before you click on that link. But feel free to click on that link to join the debate and express your views on the shape of the Earth live. And that's pretty much it. Once again, please share the show if you've not done so already. Massive thank you to William Gensker for popping €10 in the super chat. Much obliged. Good timing. Looks like we have our first guest. How you doing, my friend? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, it's Haunted House. Good to have you here, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. See if I could turn my. Don't you hate that? Like, why does everybody have to do videos like this? It's like I'm in this great place. I'm on vacation. It's wonderful to look at, but too bad you're not going to be able to see it because my face is in the way. Look at that. It's great. It's so the scenery is amazing. Yeah. You guys see all that? Okay, great. Let me turn it around. I always wondered that. I'm like, fuck, you have to be like, no one really understands like camera angles or anything in terms of photography. But who am I to say that?
That is a very shiny car.
Yeah, but it's carbon black, so it's like
Oh
if you
wow.
look at it's speckly.
Yeah, it looks
It's almost
nice.
got like green speckles on it. It's a fun mobile, that's for sure.
That's nice.
It's got this, man. This is my favorite part about it, though.
Are they Brembos?
Everybody, yeah, Brembo.
Oh wow. They're
It's
a
the
bit overkill, aren't
3.8.
they?
That's the same. What, I'm sorry. What was that?
Bit over the top, overkill, too much.
No, they come stock.
Really?
It's one of those things. People do that. Yeah, people look at my car on the road all the time, and they're always looking at my wheels. You know, they're soft wheels, but when they spin, you can see the Brembos there, and it's like that's kind of a status thing. You know, it's totally a status thing because cars that have Brembos are like high performance vehicles. And there's the Mitsubishi Evo. That doesn't. I think so. Is in New Jersey, and maybe this is everywhere in the world.
Oh, I think your mic's
They're
unplugged or something. Oh,
oh
it's
yeah, yeah.
probably
Hold on,
gone to the car, hasn't it? You've got Bluetooth.
yeah, the Bluetooth just picked up. It's
Yeah.
probably better on my Apple AirPods though, right? It was
Yeah,
better
yeah, it
before.
was better on your AirPods, to be honest, but that's okay. You're in the car, you could go for a cruise right now.
I could. I got to set some kind of camera.
Weren't you streaming
Okay,
this
so everyone
morning?
in New Jersey paints. What's up?
Weren't you streaming this morning?
No.
What is-
Somebody, Chris Truth Seeker, sent me a message saying, I'll make that stop right now. He said that I saw you get banned from VB's chat, and I was like, "That's funny." I was mowing the lawn, and he was like, "Oh, well, someone might have a haunted house account." I haven't seen one, not me personally.
That seems unlikely because literally VB has never ever banned anybody on his chat. He makes a big deal about the fact that he doesn't
Yeah,
ban people.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I don't think he really has anything against me anymore. I think we're over that thing.
Yeah, it was an
Thank
interesting
God.
show actually. Did you watch the whole of that show? Because Patricia Steer went on VB's show with Tim Osman and all sorts of different people that you wouldn't
Oh
expect.
no, I thought it was tonight at 8 o'clock or something.
There's another
Or was
one
last?
that it was his
Okay.
100th, not 100th, sorry, his 1 year anniversary show, and he sent the link out to absolutely everybody who'd ever been on the show, including myself and Patricia. And I've got to be honest, I was saying go on, and she eventually did. And it was nice to see her talking to people like Tim Osman, and she held
Yeah,
her own with
that's
Tim
what I
Osman.
said. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was it. I was done. I was just saying, watching Patricia Steer hold her own with Tim Osman was an interesting thing to watch.
It's so funny how I think this has happened a few times between you and I, like the same exact sentiment in different words. I've told her on numerous occasions, it would be great for your internet persona or whatever it is she's pursuing to show yourself, show your face around, I don't know, some other people. It's like we see you with Mark, and that's great, but don't make that your only association. Because it'll to these people, these paranoid conspiracy theorist types, and the ones out there who are going to turn on you like that, like she was on what's his face, BS Sanchez, and she was really nervous because it was just a mess, that show, and he's a mess. But anyway, I was telling her, yeah, you should do come on and hang out with like Snack of the Future or me or anybody like Issa or something like that. I'm on one of ours because it's a little bit more free form, so to speak. It's not as organized, and anything could happen in that sense. It'll show a different side of her. It's like a, because she's very organized. She has like her topic or and her setup, and she does that. And I think it's just one of those things that would open things, because I mean she gets so much shit from everybody. Whoops.
Well, her and Mark have
Strike
become
one.
like a subject in themselves, haven't they, within Flat Earth? There's enough conspiracies that surround those two individuals, just as,
I
excluding
know.
anything Shape of the Earth related, just about them personally. There's so much
Yeah.
conspiratorial
It's a
crap surrounding them.
it's a direct reflection of the type of people that surround this thing, whether we like it or not. It's kind of a crappy like side of people that when they see a friendship form, and the friendship is based in, I don't know, kind of like a almost like a childlike uh,
Jealousy.
admiration, affection for each other. Well, like
Oh, sorry, I thought
Mark
you
and
meant the
Patricia.
audience.
Well, they look at it like, well, it just the reactions are so like base and shit. Like this whole tranny thing. I asked P Mars the other day, who him and I had a great talk, and I was asking him. He didn't really answer the question. I don't think he could answer the question. I can't answer it. What's this? What's the end game with transsexual exposure? Like, when do you win? And I said to him, is it when you get a guy with a camera and another guy goes over to a woman, yanks her pants down, and points? I was like, that's the only thing I came up with. Is that when it's like official? See, I told you. Look, everybody, look. Other than that, where do we go with that? What does it prove? Is it supposed to make it? Is it supposed to make me question and take another look at like relationships and that sort of thing? Like, is it supposed to, like, they destroyed the family, right? The the uh the people who want to destroy families, the governments and all that, the family unit. They don't want that sort of thing. They don't want strong family units. That's the sentiment I've always got. The Agenda 21 folks and all these mythical organizations that I guess they exist. I've never seen them, but for the sake of the mythology, I think they will. They don't, because strong families don't allow government. They don't allow outsiders. They don't allow anyone in. That's the tightest knit thing. The child is there for the first 7 years, so he's committed, and the parents, if they're a solid union, then nothing is allowed in there. I had friends growing up that, as good of friends that I would be with them, when they had to go home and like do their thing, it was like, yeah, fuck off. All right, that's the last curse I'm gonna do, because I like your no cursing rule. It's so much. I can't stand random f bombing and like.
Oh, no cursing rule. I thought you said no person rule.
No.
Like, no, you can talk about people here if you want to. If you want to talk about people, as long as they're in Flat Earth, and it's to me that's under
Right.
the umbrella of Flat Earth. So, but yeah, no cursing. Yeah,
No.
no, definitely no swearing. It's well, I'll clarify that now. It's not necessarily the case that I care when people swear. Well, maybe that's a little bit more true with literally my kid in shock, because I don't want her precious ears hearing it. But the reality is, I don't care about swearing. It doesn't fuss me.
Yeah.
The more fruitful the language, the better. In terms of But that aside, it's
It's
because
not fruitful though.
yeah,
It's not
it's when
fruitful.
people are
I know you know
debating,
that.
when they get sweary and they're in debate, it tends to be that their blood pressure's going up and they're getting more agitated. That's when I can
Right.
say, please don't swear, rather than, come on, calm down. Because if you tell someone to calm down, they go, I'm not angry.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to calm down.
Who are
Okay,
you
I'll
telling
calm
to calm
down.
down?
But you're right. That's a clever way to like to oust people or to boot people without having to confront the idea of booting.
Yeah, and trigger
Like,
them
well, there's a
further.
penalty thing. Most people curse because they can't think of what they want to say next, so they f bomb it up. Like, I'll use freaking as a stand-in. Like, what'd you freaking say to me? freaking this guy. Think. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? You have only a split second left. Then they throw another one down. All right, I got it. I bought myself some time.
Yeah, same as repeating
But
back what someone's just said to you. That's another time buying technique. So you say, well, where have you been all day? Where have I been all day? You know, it just buys you that few extra seconds to come up with your answer.
yep. And when you see it in movies, that's the first sign of bad writing. Whenever there's a few things. When I hear someone say seriously, seriously, like that's such an unnecessary thing to say. So unnecessary. All the one person's trying to show that there's doubt involved, but they don't have to say that because it's such an arrogant, like annoying thing. It's not a pleasant thing to hear. But have you noticed? You know, remember I did a hangout about conspiratorialism and
It's
basically how
best
if
subject
there's
ever.
one thing that if there's one thing that soils the flat earth, that's it. And I've been saying it's got to go. And I hope other people say that. Sometimes I don't do things that other people are doing because I didn't think of it first. And I have to get over my own little like jealousy, my own little arrogance. But then I finally relent and I do it. But it's really pathetic, some of it. It's I mean the ODD video that I did, you know, whether he'll see it or not, I don't care. Says he is and who he thinks he is and who he portrays on YouTube, then he should step back and look at it and maybe even think about it. You know, how many people react to things that you say? Like you say something, there's always got to be a rebuttal or a fucking a dang retort. Always. I try not to do it, and it's hard. It's a hard habit to break. But no one thinks about what was just said. It just flies right past in one ear out the other. But the conspiratorialism in the directed energy weapon thing video, about there it is. Look, see? And there's nothing there. Yeah, it looks suspicious, but go do something. Go there. That's what Jamie Lee did from A Plain Truth. And he didn't really uncover anything. I mean, I like to see that. I like the idea that people can figure things out for themselves. They don't need experts. I've heard people say things like, oh, we're going to talk about flat earth. I'm not talking about it until there's a physicist in the room. A physicist. It's like, I've already talked to physicists about it. They've never even considered it. But some will, because it's a challenge. The problem is is proving it. Stop stop forcing it on people. Have you met anyone that got into flat earth because somebody yelled it at them from a street corner
So you can
or somebody
lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
exactly exactly exactly. I didn't find out that way. You know, it's not going to be as exciting, which is true. You know, it's kind of cool when people figure it out, but it's even cooler when you meet someone who's into it and they did it naturally, organically. And the way the rate at which this will spread, I think, is going to be dictated by nature and nature alone, not by people spreading it to people. It'll be the state of the world and our need for some natural comforts, you know, some sense. Like Bill Hicks used to say, there's no one on TV telling us things aren't okay. And that has an effect, a psychological effect on the public. They start to wonder, am I going crazy? Why isn't anyone saying anything? And before you know it, you're the only one there saying something. And people that are sensitive will drop off. You know, they'll have a nervous breakdown and not know what to do with it. When a nervous breakdown is really just a profound event that leaves you at a crossroads where you can say, I'm either going to break down or I just broke down and now I'm repaired and the worst is over. It's how much you believe in your own decisions. I believe in my decisions now. I've made so many dumb decisions, and I'll still make dumb decisions, but I know I can be part of the deciding factor. And that's I saw an old friend this weekend, and she was telling me how much she was working, and I was telling her, I was like, Steph, before we hooked up that one time, I looked at you like you were Charlize Theron kind of looked to her. I was like, I couldn't believe that we like, you know, got together. I was like, wow, me, me, what am I doing with this girl? I'm like the grossest thing. You got a good girl when she makes you feel like a troglodyte, something like that, or an ogre. And I told her, I was like, you have no idea really who you are. You have no idea how people see you. And if you did know, you could take advantage of that and use it to your own advantage. And I told her, stop working so much. No, I'm talking to someone. I told her, take some time off. Don't let that, what else are you going to do? You're going to work for money so you can live? Well, how are you going to live when you're working all the time? It's like the guy who gets a job so he can pay for the vehicle, so he can pay for the vehicle that takes him to work, so he can pay for the vehicle that takes him to work. Hello?
Yeah, I'm
Nathan?
listening.
Okay. But
It's just noisy. If I leave the mic on, you'll hear bingo and my kid's chair being banged around and stuff. That's all.
that's all right. I have no problem with that. That your daughter Eleanor, how your self your you need to like take things into consideration about where you stand in the world. How did she change that? Like what level are you at? Like, are you the shot caller? A decision and every decision, or do
Um,
you have a limit?
how do you mean between me and my wife?
Well, like well, now you have a responsibility. You produced a you like you replicated yourself, which is pretty much what it is. A little bit of her, a little bit of you. Hey man,
I don't know, man. I don't know
I
if
was
I
just gonna
don't
say
know if there's
how it
any.
changed. I've spoken to some people who it's changed their lives.
The only responsibility change is it's not really a responsibility change. It's just an outlook change, which is to say that it won't be down to me to tell her. So it's kind of the opposite of what you're saying. It's like between me and my wife, we've discussed letting her come to her own conclusions about stuff. Yes, we will tell her about all of it, including, obviously, this is a flat Earth show, so I'll keep it on topic and say,
Thanks.
the heliocentric model will be discussed with her at length, in detail, with accurate information. I'll add that bit at the end because that's important. But it's not that I'll say it is or isn't correct to her. That'll be left to her. I'm sure she'll be quite capable of making her own choices in life.
I'm sure you guys are gonna make good parents.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Did you hear about P Mars?
What about him?
He actually I don't know why I said that. Nothing even happened. We he like had a freak out on Brenda, and I had to you know settle him down a little bit because it was a little ridiculous. And I said to him, I was like, she did catch you, Mars. And if P Mars is listening to this right now, I'm probably gonna sound like a jerk or something like that. Because when anyone's talking about someone, it's always off-putting. But anyway, is there some sexual issues? Like, because what's the deal? You came at her like, if I asked him if you were in the same room as her, what would that what would that what's the word I'm looking for? What would that not transition? What would that experience have been if it was like physically in real time, you guys in front of each other, and he just kind of like, yeah, well, whatever, she's this, she's that. Teacher, he's like, you're an idiot because your father was a teacher, and she said, oh, you've been doxing me, you're gonna dox me, and Pimar's just like, no, it was just and he like all of a sudden disappeared. But anyway, I was asking him like, what do you want to do with your life, man? And he gave me this really crazy theory on screwing with people. He likes to screw with people. I'll shut up for a second. I think you're probably going to introduce, or I don't even know if you're online yet.
No, you already got worse because you were on Bluetooth now, but it gives me a good opportunity to say hello to Curved Water, who's just joined us. So pleased to have you here, Curved. Thanks for being here.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Kurt.
What's up?
I'm Jonathan. I don't think I know you.
You what?
I'm talking to P. Mars, and I asked him, what do you want to do with your life? Like, what if you could do it? This is a broad question, and it's a good thing to to consolidate thoughts. He explained he has this love for children, and he was nervous to say that because of the whole pervert thing. And I was like, stop right there. When you're innocent, when you're innocent of something, anything, don't ever worry. I mean, don't ever. And I understand where the world we live in now, where it's like, even if you say there's a problem with that. If you say the word pedophile in someone's direction, that person is now incriminated, no matter who they are. It's usually in a situation if nobody knows that person, that's it. It's over. It's a dangerous tool. It's a dangerous not tool. It's a dangerous little trick you can play on someone. It's a nasty thing you can do to people. But he was like, I don't want to say. It's going to sound weird, in the light of all these.
Is there any chance you can go back to your AirPods? I've just got Everett Anderson says can't hear Haunted. I can make out what you're saying just about, but it was better on your AirPods. Just if you can, that'd be brilliant.
So he didn't want to say that he likes having interaction with kids. Oh shit. Yeah, my data thing just kicked in. All right, I'll have to make this quick then.
That's miles better, by the way, just so you know.
Okay, cool. And I was like, well, that's pretty like big of you. If you get along with kids and kids get along with you, and I was like, why don't you have a child? I don't know your current relationship status, but and I don't know what he said something about a girlfriend that he like that. But I said, well, you don't have to have a girlfriend. Why don't you adopt a kid, man? There's probably some kid out there that feels just like you. Go get him and talk to him because he loves the unadulterated randomness and out of the box style of thinking that children have, which is very entertaining when you put things in front of them just to see what they'll say, what they'll come up with. So I was like, kind of pushing them to like run with that. This whole idea of like messing around with your friends just to do it. It's like that goes sour real fast. And it's not going to bode well, especially when you're online. Word counts when you don't know people or something like that. But it all comes down to like fact checking, fact checking. People are going to say things, hey, know what you're talking about. Hey, in my channel, saying anything is a definite because I don't know certain things. But I don't know what your opinion is of Bro Sanchez, but I'm unsubbed from him, and he's got a really sour followers. there was a guy who 2 minutes prior, when he saw me in the chat, was like, "Oh, hey, dude, blah blah blah. You dude, listen to this. It was great." And then I got on there and I was talking to Bro Sanchez, and right after he told me, he's like, "I'm gonna let you speak. I'm gonna let you speak, but I gotta get my words in, man. I gotta get my words in." Okay, okay. Are they ever gonna end? So he went through like another 3 minute, long-winded, never-ending run-on verbose sandwich of a sentence. And I thought it was done. It wasn't done. I was like, so what you were, I'm not finished. And I was like, oh, I see what he does. I see what he does. And he was 4 hours into his hangout. So he was all warmed up and ready. You know, he was all vocal corded up and lips, gums were slapping and flapping around, energized, all that. Got the brain flowing, juices, topics, all that. I know how it feels. And I was just in a car driving through the rain, made this stupid assertion about resurrection really means rise erection. And I heard the proverbial brakes go off, like, on, what did you just say? That's right. You know, Egyptian, he showed a picture of this Egyptian statue with a coming out of its crotch area. It's all they're all just a gay cult, and they have these homo orgies. He's using the word faggot. He got 400 listeners with intent behind it. I don't want to know that person. I'm sorry, but that's never gonna be me. Be me. You know, if you hear me saying these fucking niggers and their fucking gangs, right onto the into the street. But it's never gonna happen because I'm not that person. Because that's a blanket statement. Once you use that word, nigger, faggot, any of that shit, all that's there's so much hate behind it. Some people don't know what it's like to be the product of hate. You know, I'm surprised Patricia still is even in this for what she goes through. But he got pissed off because the story changed. I don't think you're right about that Egyptian thing. You know, do you know for sure? I'm on here all the time, and everything I say to people, I'm here enlightening them. F bomb, F bomb. I'm effing enlightening them. Just effing enlightened. Anyway, you get the point. And he brought up something else about, are you in control of your reality? And he said, no, we were being oppressed and all this blame shit. And I don't want to, like, you know, he was doing this and I did that and whatever. The point of the story is something that I knew for sure. His metaphor was, oh, you're in control of your reality. Well, what are you going to do if the water company shuts your water off? And I said, okay, I'll play ball with this. I'll have your experiment. If they did, and I get what you're saying, the water company runs everything. Because I made a choice a long time ago to not work for the water company. Had I made that choice, I could have worked my way up to a position where eventually I would have run that area of the water company. So that example fails. And the next one is probably going to fail too, because I could have made that choice. Anybody could have made any choice. These are not special people we're dealing with. It's about the choices we make. We make choices to either participate, not participate, challenge, be challenged, go to sleep. There's so many options as a human being on this plane. And I choose to not go out and bomb the White House. But I could. I could do it. You could do it. Anybody could do it. I make those choices. So right for now, I have to let these people have their way and let them do their thing until I can figure out another plan of attack. And I said, oh, well, as for the water thing, I'll go put a barrel in the backyard. You can't do that because it's illegal. And I was like, well, do you know it's illegal? for sure. I mean, I heard that YouTube told me that too. Internet told me that stuff, but I don't know for sure though. I never looked up the state laws. And not only that, if there was a state law, no one is ever going to come into my backyard and just confiscate a barrel. It's not going to happen ever, 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 ever. If I have a distillery in the house, in the backyard with stainless steel enclosures and all that stuff, maybe. But even then, everyone's got their own life. And he said, how are you going to purify? You can't drink all the water I love this one. All the water that falls through the chemtrail clouds, all that water is going to be tainted. And I was like, all the videos the guy's made, and that's his logic. Water drops are going to pick up chemtrails. It's like his junior conspiracy manual told him this. If you look at page 22, there's chemtrails everywhere, so this happens. See? This guy don't know anything. I'm about to boot you. And I was like, wait, why am I being booted? I'm not telling anyone they were wrong. I said, well, let me correct the water assessment. I detail cars and rainwater. It doesn't leave water spots. There's no mineral deposits. Anything coming out of a pipe. And I was like, you know what? He's not even gonna understand pipe, water, cleanliness, this, that. But that's who that guy is. And I never spoke to him before. And I was shocked. But I wasn't surprised. That makes no sense. I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised. I was shocked that he had that many people dedicated to whatever he was saying. And he thinks loud voice means right voice. And I asked him, well, what happens when you come across someone who corrects you? Do you actually stop and say, I might have to change that? And he said that, yeah, I do that. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that because I've seen some of his crazy arguments. And when someone's having a crazy heated argument and one person and the other one slips up, they usually cover it up with name calling because you can't have that because then it looks like the other person destroyed them or some nonsense like that. And he said there was a guy, flat earther in the South, who got beat up by the police. I didn't hear about this. And he's like, what do you think about that? I can't do anything about that. He's like, you wouldn't do anything about that? I said, no, I couldn't do anything about that. I'm about to boot you, man. You said you don't care. You're the only one who lives in this world. Get out of here, fool. And then Patricia came on. He's like, you got to get out of here because I got to make room for Patricia's ear. And I was like, all right, well, that's it, I got. But that's the sentiment. That's the ideal with so many people, man. Curious Life, Kirk, he made that video about the chemtrail nonsense. Not that chemtrails are nonsense, but the hysteria is nonsense. It's stupid. He had like 50 unsub comments. I can't believe this. I've followed your channel. It's some people, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. How could he be an idiot? Look at his other videos. Like, does anyone, do you guys see what I'm seeing here? Am I the only one who's willing to say, well, we're not right with everything. We're not, I don't really know for sure a lot of these things. They're very convincing. And what we see in the government would make it very logical and feasible. And they're putting forth all the characteristics of really dirty, nasty people. But I don't think that Flat Earth is such a deception as it is
that's because you haven't done the research.
I was going to say, sorry, we need to be introducing P. Mars, so if I can just say a quick hello, wanted to P. Mars, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Oh, yeah? I do research, buddy. Oh,
no, you don't. Because, I was just looking at, I was just
reading.
Up
my name. You looked up you knew my father was a teacher. Put me down.
Nathan, are you able to talk to Project Eli or send her messages?
I'm not in close contact with Project Eli, but I watched her live stream and then went to a few other videos, came back and it had been taken down, and she'd done a 2-minute video that said, all trolls are banned, I've been porn bombed, I thought P. Mars was a good guy.
Yeah, I don't know why she put my name in there, because like now I got a death threat, and it's kind of like I didn't even do anything, so
Oh,
like
wow.
she should be more responsible with fucking like
No swearing,
just
please.
falsely. Sorry. Well, yeah, just throwing like my name out there and stuff like without any like I didn't do anything, you know, and so now like people think I porn bombed her, and I got death threats now, even though I did nothing.
Did I get our
So
story right, Mars? Did I get the our interaction the other day online?
yes,
All right.
it was 100%.
So I mean, you see it from your side. You see it from the flat Earth. Flat Earthers are notorious for just spitting out Dubé's rehash, because Dubé's information is books. They're just, he makes videos of him dictating books. Fine, audio books. Okay, I get it.
Do you
But
know
then
who
people try to
Jackson?
do.
Do you know who Jackson Pollock is? Haunted House.
Of course I do.
Okay, he was created and funded and like made popular by the CIA. That there this
Okay.
during I read a book, The
How does that
Cultural
affect
Cold
the art?
War.
Do you
Here,
know
look, I read a
how does?
book, The Cultural Cold War. All these like
Yeah,
artists,
I remember
all
that you were
these
telling me
like
about that.
novels, all this shit was coming from the CIA. Yeah, so it's like
But explain that though.
nothing
Explain coming
nothing
from.
is look read what they say about, like, I've read some of their quotes where they talk about how like any group that promotes like a weird belief system or like something like is controlled by the CIA. Like flat earth was created by the CIA, like straight up. There's no such things as a
But where do I
grassroots
stand? Where do I
movement.
stand in
I don't
that?
know where you stand. You could be a government agent. I think a lot of this
Well,
people,
but I
like I
but
think Nathan
for
Oakley
myself.
is. I think there's a lot of like spooks
But that's what you think. So where do I stand for me?
that
Like, I know where I
I don't
stand.
know.
I know, who employs me and who doesn't employ me. But when it comes to Jackson Pollock, what does that mean though? What did they pay him to do? Did they give him a diagram? Do this. Take the paint and drip it.
They made him popular. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
well,
I guess
that's
they were
known.
looking for like weird artists
Hey,
or
Bob,
like
there's no
yeah, I can't
musician
remember.
without a producer. No musicians out there without a money man behind. Bob Dylan had a producer. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't have become famous.
They
And
control like culture, like they control what becomes popular, and like even like
money, yeah.
small little things that you think are grassroots, like flat Earth, are organized and controlled propaganda. So I
But how do you
mean,
mean by controlled though? Control the info.
that
Like what's
like I'm saying like the whole thing like with Mark Sargent was like
that's easy. But you got to get more
Mark
specific on
Sargent
this.
was like a CIA agent or some shit.
I mean,
Putting
convince
out
me.
propaganda videos. I don't really care
But that's what
to.
everybody's saying. That's what everybody's saying. Doesn't it feel
Yeah,
good
but
to not
they're
feel?
going off like that Metatron shit, which is like a red herring. Like I just like study straight up propaganda, and then I look at like what they're producing, they use in their videos, their messages, and that's how I determine shit. Like I don't really give a fuck about like actually
But what do you
going and
control, man? Why
connecting
don't
them.
you? You
I
could
don't know shit of
probably
no one.
get a job, man. You could get a job at some marketing agents because marketing
I'm gonna start a
is
cult.
propaganda. Start a cult
Yeah,
or something.
public
But
relations.
do leave your mark at least. Don't be a bystander and fucking. Bernays. He's somebody. He did something with it. I don't support
Yeah,
it. It's marketing at its
he
finest.
made
What do you
everyone
think
switch.
NASA is? NASA's the biggest PR firm that ever be created, and they're good at it. They're really good
They're
at it.
not. Yeah.
We might not buy it. We might not say that. It doesn't matter. They're not looking for our belief systems. They don't want to convince us. They're happy with the people they got, and we know it.
NASA was not created to make people think the Earth is a ball, dude.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. I hate when people say that shit. Like David Weiss put a video out the other day, and he said, he didn't say, he put it in the title. SpaceX wants to deceive you. And I was looking at it like, oh, dude, why did you say that? Because that would look so paranoid. Forget about SpaceX. Just
That
show the
guy's a
video. Just show the video. Forget about the blame thing. Stop blaming NASA. It's like, I don't want to hear about NASA anymore. I can't stand any of that.
When you listen to like flat earthers, it's like they think NASA is at the top of the pyramid or some shit. Like,
I know.
once
I know.
NASA falls, everything falls.
That's like you enter the conspiracy realm with no discernment skills or no confidence in your own methods of investigation. Because there are skeptical people, truly skeptical. There are people who like don't easily have a good time. Usually they don't laugh much. Like Sophia Smallstorm, for instance. She never laughs. Anytime she does a video, haha, haha, because her brain is like in overdrive, analyzing. Whereas I can't live that life. I can't live being concerned about other people doing something to me that I know they can't do anyway unless I let them. Oh shoot. But that, I want to see how they got Jackson Pollock to make those paintings. And I know what you're saying. They bankrolled them.
Yeah, you should check out the
that's
book.
a good thing. That's a good thing. What's it called again? What's the author?
Cultural Cold War. I gotta look up the author. Let's see here. It's some chick. She's like really fucking. She was like a Cambridge educated. She's like fucking really smart. This chick who wrote it. I just watched her give a lecture about it.
Nathan, does the cursing rule, is it for on air or off air, or do you have these on air? It must be on air.
Yeah, you're on air.
All right, I don't even have my phone in front of me.
He's doing OBS, so it says off air here in the Hangout, but it's being broadcast on OBS.
So, The Cultural Cold War by Francis Saunders.
Oh, Francis Saunders.
Yeah.
He's probably a Jew.
It's a chick.
That's what you think. Probably got a penis.
Oh, a tranny. It's a tranny, yeah.
It's a tranny Jew. Worst
What's her
time, man.
shoulder to hip ratio?
Oh my God.
I'll have to ask Antonio. He's the expert on that.
Oh, he sure is. That's apparent.
Because he's an artist.
I'm still trying to figure out his angle on that one. Like, how's he gonna? What the hell? He dug himself a hole, man. I'm sorry, but I can't watch Antonio's videos anymore.
I love how
surround himself in negativity. Just
that is kind of digging yourself a hole because you're like admitting to having sex with a tranny. I don't know. It's kind of a weird.
He's not just admitting it.
But
He's making sure that everybody that hears him realizes that he had sex with a tranny. He is dead set on making sure that everybody knows this.
But when I hear information, any information, there's two things that could be happening. That person behind their head, their black shadow body soul, is going. Anyway, she had a 12-inch penis. And I'm standing there going, "Whoa, really? I didn't know that." And as soon as I turn around, they go, "What a fucking idiot!" Whoops, sorry. Like, what an idiot.
You should be ashamed, curved like Eddie Murphy.
Well, I think Eddie Murphy's into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I brought it up as a joke.
His weren't a mistake.
He got busted with a tranny. He got busted with a tranny. He's like, "Oh, I was just giving her a ride home. I didn't even know they were a tranny."
But she wasn't post-op, was she?
But let me just say this.
She probably had a dick. Yeah, she probably had a dick. I don't remember.
Let me just say this though, and I know we're joking about this now, but I really hope that you guys don't resort to picking on Patricia Steer. Like, get like, you got to get a new game.
Too late for me.
Oh, I don't even believe it.
It's weak though. I mean, how it's just pathetic though. It's really pathetic to see guys like MGTV, like I say every time. How does he get up from the chair in front of his computer when he clicks that save video? Like, haha, gotcha. Oh boy. And he walks over to his 400-pound wife and he goes, I'm glad you're a woman. Yeah. There's a woman across on the other side of the country. And I showed her. Really. And what's the end game? You know, do they, like I was asking you, PR, do they want to kill this person? Or do they want to, you said shame them, but how do they know the
I don't
shame
know.
is
There,
good?
there's
Like,
there does seem to be a lot of death threats being thrown around. Like I just got a death threat, so I've heard other people have gotten death threats.
That's why death threats exist, because the person sending them is too scared to like interact with the person that they're potentially going to kill.
If you strike me down, you will only make me stronger.
Word.
God. I got a death threat once. It was over the phone, and it was right after the whole debacle with the electrical union. And I was in a
Pretty
really
annoyed at
bad
Project Eli.
I got a death threat.
project.
I got a death threat off Jamie Teth, the guy who's formerly known as Fake Spaceman in Space, formerly known as Fake Clouds in Sky. So he threatened to come to the Leamington meet and strangle me and my wife. And my reply to that was, what are you going to do with my daughter?
He's gonna take care of her. He's gonna be her new dad.
Oh boy, what did he didn't entertain that question, right?
They'll be like the professionals.
Man, this is the keyboard. This is the year of the keyboard warrior. You should see what I can do when I'm behind my keyboard. You can pick on me now and put my face in the toilet bowl, but once I face my keyboard, it's like the sword. I have the power. Pew pew. Keyboard. I am the dream. Remember the Dream Master, like the Nightmare on Elm Street. In my
Little
dreams,
Nemo.
I have swords, and I can strike you down, Freddy. But yeah, death threats over Flat Earth. Wow, wowzers!
Yeah.
It's like people have
That's insane.
so much time on their hands to be pissed off at things. I'm not doing anything this week. What's gonna bother me?
It's because like all the flat Earth arguments are emotional. That's why you get like crazy
with me.
people death threatening.
Not with me. There's so many flat earthers. We got to take out the trash. Everyone needs to be responsible. You know, you're either part of it or you're being honest with it. And if you're perpetuating it, then expect more of it. But I shut off with that shit. I just shut off.
Well,
I don't know if it's because I've had real issues in life. Sorry.
Oh no. I was just wondering then what are the arguments you have? How would you
I don't argue.
them?
I don't argue flat Earth or globe Earth. Because first of all, one, I've never seen one of them. The other one I've seen.
Been joined by Alex. Good to have you here, Alex.
Hello. I'm just
Alex
here.
French.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cook's name. Alex French will be serving pastries.
People always ask me if I'm French, but then I say no because my name would be Francais, wouldn't it?
That's funny. I'm Johnny English. Are you English? No, it's just the last name. You know, it's weird. I have two first names, and it's a great it's a great barometer for people that are easily confused. They're like, wait a minute, which? Okay, I'll slow it down, and I'll give you the first name first. It's okay. It's understandable. They're both first names. Could be going forward or backwards.
So you got what? So your surname's like a first name, is it?
Yeah. Well, I'm Jonathan Vincent. And the other thing, on Bro Sanchez's show, Patricia knows me as my real name, and she said, "Oh, you had Jonathan on it," or I think she said my full name, and everybody wrote in the comments, "Patricia just doxed you. She just doxed you, dude." I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, first of all, I couldn't figure it out, and then I finally figured it out. I'm like, "Oh, that is just more proof for the pudding." Like, that's what they're waiting for. Like, you get her, do something.
Well, it's a lot of drama, isn't it? Well, that's what makes it fun. Is all the drama, all the excitement. There's always somebody going to come up. I don't know, what was the lady's name? Riley making a, well, whatever. I don't know. It's bad at people.
I'm sorry, but that picture of Anthony Riley's hilarious in the bathtub.
Hot Tub Riley. Oh,
He
yeah.
blocked me on Skype because I made that picture.
You got blocked by Boss Man.
Yeah, man. I don't know why he was so upset because he was on ISO's Flat Earth Court and he thought it'd be a good idea to go put his webcam on his hot tub and jump in the hot tub. So, like, he was putting the image out there. I just like saved it because it was funny.
Yeah, that's a classic picture, that one.
All right, so if I could ask real quickly, Jonathan, you say you don't argue flat or globe?
I
Well,
think that's what he said.
Yeah, I don't participate in proving things to people because I can't do it. I can't. Someone has to be willing to relent once the facts are stated, and we both see the same thing.
You must empty your teacup.
What do you do?
I ask them questions. I ask them to reinforce their own ideas, and that's usually when the breakthrough happens. So, what do you see, and why? Because the why is more important than the what, really. It's like, why do you believe in God? Not what God, because isn't that like unknown? But what people believe in is, to me, not as important as belief in the first place. So I see a flat thing. I see it flat everywhere. I never experienced any of that stuff. It could be made to sound like that. I understand. Like, there are there are flat earthers who will put up that fight like, no way, no way. It's like, no, I could definitely be the ball earther. I know exactly where those arguments are coming from. And the ones that were doing measurements, like, there's so much in the way with these measurements, with the analytes and all this stuff.
Really?
I don't really, this topography issues, and then it comes down to here we are talking about it when if I need to take care of something, if I need to do something, I'm going to go and do it. I'm not going to talk about it because this forum for, it's either going to be one or the other, then it's got to be one or the other. Because technically, if you guys can prove it, then we have to, come to a consensus here.
But what do you consider
but we're not.
proving? What do you consider proving?
I don't consider proving to be anything.
How is anyone to do it? How is anyone to do it?
They have to do it within it's up to them. That's why this is a personal journey. And it is, because it changes you.
All right. Well,
I'm changed.
How is anybody supposed to prove anything when you're basically saying they can't prove it? Or
why do they have to prove it?
Well, you said it. No? Didn't you say it?
I didn't say it.
Well, you said okay, you're trying to put the onus off on the others. You're trying to say they could prove it.
I'm saying that when it comes down to universal truths and these sort of things, it can only be held within the individual. I don't know what you dream at night. You could tell me, but I'll never see it from your eyes. This perspective of flat Earth can only be seen from the person, the individual. If they choose to tell other people about it, that's fine.
We've been joined by Jonathan Roberts. Just to say a quick hello to Jonathan. Good to have you here.
Yeah. What up, people? Everybody cool? All right.
Hello. Why doesn't everybody say hello?
That was very spiffing. Who just said hello in a very...
I did. Sorry, my voice is... I just woke up. I was up really late last night. Not doing anything special.
If I'm a ball earther and I have an issue with flat Earth, what's the real issue that I have? And I've heard this, well, there's too many dumb people and I want to make, no. Nobody really cares about preventing the more dumb people from appearing on the world. Like, no one's going to save society. Like, that needs to be put away.
Oh,
We're all selfish. We're all selfish.
well, that's the way you
Admit
see it. That's the way you see it. Maybe you
Absolutely.
don't see.
It's the
Maybe
only
you don't
way I
see
can
what
see
other
it.
people see there.
What do you mean?
Maybe
Are
you
you gonna
don't
explain to
see
me?
what other people see there. Other people see it differently from you.
How
What's
do you
going to
know what
make
they see?
what's going to make your opinion any better or more correct than others?
Opinions aren't really correct.
There
They're
you
just
go.
a perspective.
Right. So people's opinion of the shape of the earth doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, no. I could say that my opinion would be, hey, the sphere Earth is really cool. It just looks cool in pictures, and what an awesome thing. All right.
Does
That's
it
my
matter to
Cool
opinion.
on
you?
CGI.
Does it matter to
But
you
you see
what
how,
it is?
Of course it matters.
does the Earth beneath me matter?
Yeah, the shape.
I don't
The
think
most
I don't
important thing
think I
ever.
could stress to you how much by saying yes to that question. So
Okay.
Agreed.
you'll
So
figure that one out as we go along.
so why do you think it's like good to just go with, whatever each individual sees, and it's up to them what they see, and why argue it, and the
Because
approach that you seem to be taking is just
okay,
to avoid the debate.
if everyone did that and they avoided, like, picture a classroom, and that was the problem. That was the quiz. That was the test. And everybody broke off into their little groups. And one guy came over. He's like, "Hey, you guys figured this out yet?" It's like, "No, but we're leaning towards flat." All right. I don't know. Okay. Well, everyone spreads out again, and over the course of the day, they're all trying to figure this thing out. And then groups start to form, and then there starts to be one group that gets larger and larger and larger, and that group is going to grow larger for a few different reasons. That there's something that sounds good, some tasty, shiny information that makes sense. There could be pure fact. It would be good to know the intention of everyone in the classroom. Like, does everyone need to figure this out, or they're not going to pass?
Sorry to interrupt. We've been joined by
for?
Mr. Grimvy and Music Man. I just wanted to say a quick hello to you guys, if I may.
Hi guys.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. I've got another Brit on the panel.
Hello. It's me as well.
Hello.
So
Honid,
I'm talking.
are you in the shower? Are you in the
Yes.
shower?
I am.
Showering on the hangout.
Yep.
Well,
How
I'm
the hell in?
And sorry to just one more time. We were also joined by Grimvy. Pleased to have you, Grim.
Turn your cam on and porn bomb us.
I had to watch my thumb when I picked up the phone. So anyway, when it comes down to the grass is green, it's either green, and I say, well, I don't see it that way. There's nothing you can say that's ever going to make me change. Because if I want to say it's red, I'm going to say it's red. But then how is the world going to look at me? I say, that guy's, he's being obstinate. He's being contrary. Because we all know it's green, right? But what if it is red? Well, no, it can't be red. Water boils at 212 degrees, 212 degrees, whatever it is.
All right, why
It's
is green
objective
grass
truth.
red, dude? Why would green grass be red?
We're getting a lot of
Unless you
feedback.
have colour
Sorry to
blindness.
interrupt. Sorry to break up the flow of things. If you're not talking, can you pop yourselves on mute? If you're on a mobile device, you just need to tap your screen and press the mute button. If you're on a computer or a Mac, move your mouse over the Hangout page and just click mute.
I think being that we grew up with the sphere model, it's really going to have a harder time becoming the popular vote. And the only reason why it has so many votes is because they pushed it out.
It sounds like this dude's underwater. It can only be one or the other, though. I mean, you've already
Check this out.
agreed on that. It's one or the other. So all of this stuff about what one person thinks, what another person thinks, that doesn't really affect what it is, does it?
But you want an answer. Yeah,
I
but
have
the
an
bottom
answer. I
line,
have
I
an
can
answer.
tell. I don't think you do.
Well, that's okay.
I think you need validation.
My
Which
knowledge
is all
is
right.
not dependent upon
Well,
what
there's
you
your
think.
opinion again. That's where we're back to the everybody has one thing, right?
But I don't need
What's
anyone to
all
tell me
that
I'm right.
noise? Can you get to a drier area or go to like?
And also,
All right,
is
you know
that
what?
water curved that you're
Hey.
in?
Yeah.
Say this. That's why I don't have my camera on. Because
That
guys
sound
can see
like
all the services. Here, you guys can ponder on that.
You're making me
I'll
need
be
the
back
toilet,
in a minute.
man. Come on. Subliminal message. I'm actually gonna go to the toilet. I'll be back in a bit.
Well, at least he muted.
No, I muted him.
What a refreshing sound of silence. Ugh.
I was pondering over the that double split experiment, and I was thinking perhaps if you compared the way they act whilst being observed, you could compare that to the flat Earth concept.
Ugh, double slit is debunked.
Well, I finished what I was about to say. If you've got something more interesting to talk about, then yeah, crack on.
Double slit experiments debunked. You can do the same thing with a laser and a pinhole needle. Check out just Google slit experiment debunked.
Debunked in what way?
And debunked by repeated through another mechanism.
So they don't change their behavior when they're being observed.
Right, because it's not a it's not like that. Yeah, exactly.
And what are you talking about when you say observed?
My understanding of that experiment was that the light particles acted differently whilst being observed, or recorded rather, than when not being recorded, as in the way they went through the slit.
You understand that doesn't mean whether somebody's watching the experiment occur or not, right? It doesn't involve human consciousness affecting and all that.
Well, that's why I use the word recorded.
Okay, but you do. There's a lot of people out there that think that it has to do with, the observer changes the experiment. No,
That was my
no, it's
understanding.
not.
Yes.
It's not the act of watching it
Is that from What
occur
the Believe
that
Do We
changes
Know?
it.
That documentary.
Yeah, but I was comparing it to, a flat Earth would be, we are all being observed, so perhaps we'd all act differently if we knew for certain we were all being observed. Whereas the other outcome would be on the globe Earth, we're not all being observed. So, comparing it to the double split experiment. People act differently when they know they've been observed.
Sorry to interrupt, but can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's just it says that unfortunately Hangouts has stopped. So is my camera on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we
right.
fix that?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I'll try and get rid of my ugly mug. Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's fine. You're looking very relaxed.
Yeah, for once I actually am.
I was speaking to my nephew just now. We just come back from breakfast, and I was asking him about what's going on in school these days, and the amount of it is indoctrination, and how Nazi-like the British public schools are becoming today. I was quite shocked. They do this thing now. They call it slanting. They say 1, 2, 3, and then all the students have to stand up and fold their arms and be silent until the teacher then dismisses them from the classroom. Just found it quite amusing.
Well, sorry, what do they do again? Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, they say that the teacher says 1, 2, 3 slant, then all of the pupils have to stand up and fold their arms and be silent.
Oh, like military kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd only heard of that today. And they no longer sing the Lord's Prayer and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Sad.
Amazing.
Yeah, Satan made them take God out of the schools.
Yeah, I'm with that.
That was like, and they replaced it with like Helena Blavatsky. Theosophy was like, I think she was on the, or people she influenced. Oh yeah, Alice Bailey was like her student. I think Alice Bailey worked on like educational boards and shit to get like God out of the school, and they replaced it, yeah, with this like Madame Blavatsky Theosophy type philosophy shit.
They still do teach religions in the in the RE classes, religious education, but they teach like across the board now. All of the religions. Well, obviously not all of them, but the major ones. Whereas when I was in school a long time ago, it was just either well, not Catholic, but the Protestant religion. Christianity.
Yeah, I mean, in my school, we didn't have a particular religion, but we said the Lord's Prayer at assembly all together. Like, do you know what I mean? The whole school, like the whatever morning thing.
Yeah,
I don't really remember that well. Yeah, I think that was
more
good.
More of an Islam school then, was it?
It was a what? An Islam school?
More of an Islamic school, what with the Lord's Prayer being said and all.
No, it was it wasn't any religion school, but there was a lot of Sikhs there, so that's not Islamic.
I'm pretty certain it was a Christian school that you went to.
Yeah, sorry, Nathan, I'm a bit slow this morning. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think it's messed up.
It wasn't. I think it was just a lot of Christian teachers there. Sorry.
Like saying the Pledge of Allegiance before every day. It's like that repetition. It gets ingrained in people. I remember one time I tried to, like when people say the Pledge of Allegiance, they say it like monotone or whatever. I started to recite it with inflection and try and like be different, and I got in trouble for it. And she's like, "Say it like everyone else says it." And shit. It's like they want you all in your uniform, being the same, saying the same Pledge of Allegiance every morning. Repeat.
Yeah, with the uniform, my nephew wore a pair of black trainers or running shoes. And there was a branded logo on the side. And he was sent to isolation, and it's just 3 walls from wall to ceiling, 2 either side of you and 1 in front of you, with just a chair there. And you have to sit there for half an hour and just stare at the wall. It's like an open prison.
Hey, P. Mars, when they did roll call and everybody was saying here, were you the guy who said present?
Yeah, probably something like that.
I did a few of those too. I gotta admit, unless someone got to it before me.
I got banned from you saying the number 69 in one class. And then I got it. And then they're doing a roll call on book numbers, and my book number was 69. It's pretty funny.
You guys understand that your thoughts become unstable when you start communicating with someone? Like when you guys were talking about the earth being a ball, all my flat earth stuff started wiggling like an unstable molecule. And I was like, oh, that's why.
Because every flat earth thing you got to think of, it doesn't come with any supporting evidence.
Okay, get it out. I was saying to myself, is this statement going to be worth what I'm going to hear before I say it? I think so. My thoughts were becoming unstable when you guys were talking about, that's because we kicked your ass. But when I talk about flat earth, your thoughts become unstable. I don't need you to...
Don't flatter yourself. You don't have that effect.
So there's a few people who are in the chat room currently saying that the show isn't flat earth related enough. Even one of the panel members who's just piped up, which is Curved Water. But there is 10 places on these debate panels. There are currently 8 people in the show. So any of the keyboard warriors who would like to join the show, feel free to click on the link in the info box below this video. There's approximately half an hour left on this stream. So if you did want to join to express your views on the shape of the earth, feel free to do so. If you wanted to support the show, there is a super chat that runs alongside while the show is live. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, but you will be warmly welcomed back on the next show. So with that, I'll transition back to the action.
When you're speaking,
why don't you guys go around and tell all your... Because you asked a great question. I thought that was the best question you asked earlier, Haunted. was why are you really here? I mean, is it to do this or to do that? I mean, you were making some inferments, but they were all incorrect as to my position. But the question was fair, I thought. And I'm here to straighten out liars. I don't like liars. I noticed a lot of people in the flat earth community just outright liars. And I like to expose that.
Why did you need to
it's like
tell
a hobby of mine. I don't know.
Shout out
Just
to
like
Spurs Chemo.
fix
Now-
liars right in their shit. Excuse my French.
But Grim, now that I know that, are
Well, the
you
whole-
are you validating right now? Are you becoming valid? That's not a joke. When I say something to someone, I'm getting a validation. That person knows it, and now I know that another person knows it. So the thought leaves my existence, and now someone else knows something about me. We're connected in a way. What you just said, technically, we don't need to know that. But
Yeah, but you asked.
are
I didn't
proud of
just
it.
I didn't just
I know.
run around
I
and
know.
tell everybody that, right? You asked. That's
So
why
if
I
you-
thought it was a
so if-
fair question.
You
If you
want
were
to straighten
picking-
out liars?
Because technically, I wouldn't have just come out and said, "Hey, guess what I'm doing? This is why." Right?
Well, I didn't really ask you directly, did I?
Yeah, you did because I'm on the panel, and then you asked the panel. So yeah,
Okay.
Actually.
Like I call these arguments. No, I'm dumber. No, I'm dumber. No, I'm dumber.
Okay.
thanks.
Anyway, that's.
Thanks for agreeing with me.
You want to
I'm just kidding.
fight against liar? Like, if you were a superhero, what would you be called? Don't say the T.
See, now
word.
you're being condescending again. You're
Well,
messing with.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, you're messing
before.
with
If I
fire
was
right
a
now.
super,
You're messing with
I
No,
fire.
I'm
would
not.
be
No, I'm not.
called
You're making an
Super
assumption that
Shermanati.
other people.
No, you're making assertions
don't.
out. You're taking what I'm saying out of context.
Well,
I'm already
explain it then.
here. I'm already
Explain
here
it.
promoting. I'm already here promoting the truth about vaccines and what's freedom
could
of
you do that?
information, freedom of information documents where so-called independent researchers are actually working for Monsanto, and you can see it through their back correspondence.
Okay,
All this kind of
we
stuff
don't.
that should be
I'm
illegal.
on
It
your
is
side.
illegal, but it isn't. Can you
I'm on your
allow me
side.
to finish why I'm here before you start stepping all over me? Why, I didn't even tell you why exactly I'm here yet. I didn't even finish supporting my statements yet, right? And you want to make sure
Why
you
don't-
stop me before I
Hey,
support
why
my
don't you
statements,
just
or what?
take it easy for a second?
That
Why
way I
don't you
just have a
take it
bunch
easy
of
for a second?
statements that are
I know
unsupported.
you.
Is that
I
your
know you.
technique?
take
You
it
just
easy,
roll
brother.
on and on. You just
Because
roll
I
on.
can tell
and
when
on
I'm being
and on.
messed with. You know what I mean?
Chill,
So,
homies.
so can I. But I don't get involved with that stuff because I'm way too past it already. That was like last week. That was last year, man. You love it though, because I've seen you, man. I've seen you, and you know it. You know it. And who cares about
What's he
truth
saying?
when honesty means more? Honesty changes a person. I can't tell if you're a truthful person to yourself. This could all be a front, Hey, look at me. I'm promoting truth. Whew, that's going to be a great cover, and no one's going to realize I'm a real liar underneath this. And I'm not saying you're a liar, but it's
Yeah,
strange
I sure hope
that
not.
somebody's promoting all this truth. It looks
Yeah,
manic.
you might want to check the content on my channel and see how it's all free to you and how I don't make money and I'm not self-promoting and all that kind of stuff. You might want to check all of that stuff first
Shouldn't you be doing that anyway?
before
shouldn't you be doing that
pretending
anyway?
Making money.
before pretending to make an inferment. It's not about what's wrong with making money. It's about what are your motives here in reality. Are you here to make money, or are you here to expose the truth? Are you manipulatable by
There is no
editors and
truth.
money?
There's-
Right. Are you?
Something that go hand in hand.
Yeah. Do
There's
you
no
have
truth,
to?
man.
You have
There's human
you have to
interaction.
shave your content because of money, right? Because of the commercials, or because of you won't get particular aid or
They're
whatnot,
using-
because that's
You
what a
made
lot
your
of these
point.
channels are doing, and that's why that's important to a lot of truthers. Is the integrity of your
My parents. Hold
position.
on, dude. You made your point. Like you made your
Yes.
point with 20 extra words. How are my
Oh, dude,
parents going
shut
to get
up,
this
dude.
truth?
You
though? I
ramble
really-
like nobody's business
I know,
without
you say a bunch
saying
of nonsense.
anything.
At least
Don't
I'm
even
making
try
a
to
point.
play that card.
At least I'm making a point, right? Not just gish
How can my
galloping,
parents?
shotgunning.
Okay, all right, good. How can my parents get that truth?
How do
Is
I
it
know?
only on YouTube?
How did
Well,
I
you're the one
raise your
spreading
parents?
it.
Wait a second.
You're the one
Didn't you
spreading
just
it.
say there is no truth? Did you not just say there is no truth?
You just random
Yes, I
say
said there is
random
no truth.
words.
Okay, then what are you seeking? You don't even believe truth exists.
What
There
could
you
the
go.
truth possibly be?
That's
See?
a stupid
What
question.
could it be? Oh, wait,
I'm
hold on.
enjoying
The
this.
truth,
This is a
the
good one.
truth seeker
I know
just
it's a
told
stupid question
someone
because the truth
that
about what
asking a question
you're
is
being
stupid.
arbitrary now. You're being really
No, I'm
super
not.
arbitrary. Yeah, you are.
Is what
So,
you're
so I should
saying?
just keep my mouth
What's
shut?
the truth?
What you're saying true?
What's the
That's a
truth?
fucking great question.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
There is
Truth
no
about
truth.
what?
There's nothing to
One
handle.
at a time, please. Can you try not to swear, please?
Yes, sir.
Sorry
I think
about
we've
that.
got you both on leashes. Walking
With
around.
Whoa,
with
there's
no
still a
truth.
question. There's still a question on the floor. And I'm not joking around. You'll know when I'm joking around. Well, what is
we
it?
know.
What
We
could
do
it be?
know.
What do you guys think it looks like?
Oh, come
What are you
on.
saying again? Ask your question one more time so I can
What does
record
it
it.
sound like?
I would say the
What
truth
is it?
is
I
something
don't know
that
what.
feels comfortable.
Okay, well that's got to refer to something, right?
These are
Directly,
all
right?
logical fallacies. You have to think the truth sounds like a particular tone.
Probably
what
532
does the chair
hertz.
look like?
Right.
What does the
Is it
chair?
And that's the
532?
truth?
What does
The
the chair
truth
sound
shows
like?
up visually somewhere on the magnetic spectrum around the visual range.
It's green, but it looks red.
Why can you not have a sensible?
It's just
It can still be the truth even though it's in the non-visible light spectrum.
Oh man, I'm gonna
How does
suck
that
you.
green smell,
So you-
Curved?
Magnetism could be the truth.
So, are you guys going to answer the question, or
Well, the truth
You
could
don't have
sound
a
like a
question.
bell.
Sound like?
You don't have a
The truth
question.
sounds like a
so
bell. You'll
somebody-
know it when you hear it.
so someone asks you a serious question about the thing that
Dong.
you're crusading for, and it's
I think-
funny. It's like joke time, right?
For globe
Like,
times,
look
the
at that
truth
idiot.
Come on, you're the
Did
question
you ask
master
what the
with
truth
jokes and riddles. You're the one who made this joke possible. Don't act like you didn't have a hand in it.
You
You
got
joker.
me, didn't you? You stuck it to me, didn't you?
The
Look,
Riddler.
I look like a silly guy over here.
I think
look like
I
a
think the
silly
truth
guy.
the truth looks like Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men.
Truth is risky business.
But what are we talking here? Like, we talking the meaning of life? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. When I'm seeking the truth.
I said particularly about the
I'm busy doing
vaccine.
something.
You took away
He's
the
right.
word vaccines and said, "So what does truth sound like?" Tried to ridicule
I didn't
me.
say it like that. I didn't
Yeah,
say it
you
like
did.
that. I like that.
Well, I
That's
said
what
it
my
like
voice
that
sounded
because
like.
you took away the word vaccines. You took away the word GMOs. The things that I said, I talk about the truth about vaccines and GMOs, and you said, "What does the truth sound like?" Out of nowhere. That's some magicry. That's like nothing. You just said a bunch of nothing. Like you literally just made fun of someone
But why
and
didn't you use?
pretended to be serious in the same breath.
Why
They call that
didn't you use those
passive
examples?
aggressive nonsense right there.
Oh, hold on, I'm writing this down. Passive aggressive nonsense. Okay. All right.
Is that
That's quite passive
true?
aggressive.
Is that true?
Passive aggressive.
He's writing it down.
Has the CIA trained you in passive aggressive nonsense?
No.
But did they tell you to say, right, I'm writing this down to
Maybe.
segue and get out of somebody else talking? I'm writing this down. I'm writing it down.
How do we know if your
It's
answers
a great
are
way to
truthful or
Delphi
not?
somebody. Isn't it?
Hey, it's. I don't know. There's definitely something to be said when you ask truth seekers what the truth could possibly be, and they laugh at you. That says
Yeah,
to
because
me,
your question is hilarious.
we don't know what we're talking
You just
about.
said that.
Well, we like saying
No,
truth
the
seeker
truth.
because it
Are
looks,
you know what you're
looks
talking
good.
about?
The truth about what? I asked. You still haven't got around to that yet, but I'll sit there and I'll pose the question over and over again, and as you
I
pretend
said
like it's
universal
never
truth.
happened.
I said universal
Truth about
truth.
what
You
exactly?
did not. You did not.
I'm
You
still
said
waiting.
there is no truth.
But when you guys say you're spreading truth, the word truth is being used to be a modifier, or I'm spreading this one idea. We're spreading
Nope.
truth. So the truth would be your version of things, because I'm sure the other
Honesty,
people.
honest interpretations of data. For one, that's truth. If it doesn't smell like honest interpretation of data, it's not the truth. If it doesn't sound like honest interpretation of data.
So if there is no truth, does that
So
mean
it's a
nothing
judgment
is
thing.
false?
No,
Is nothing false?
honesty is important here.
But
okay?
I experience those things. I
Integrity.
experience those things
Honesty.
for myself,
Those
How
are
do
the
you know?
and I deal with them.
How can anybody else know that what you're saying is even true?
Nobody could know. That's my point. That's
How
why
can
you
you
need to be
know?
honest to yourself.
How
How
can
could
what,
you know
Because
no
I
one
live with
could know?
myself.
what
live
is
with
honesty
You
if
have
there
it
is no
known
truth?
that no one could know.
What is honesty if there is no truth?
If no one could know by your own logic, how could you know no one could know or could not know?
I can see how seriously you take this. I mean,
No, I'm breaking it. I'm taking it all the way to your logic, the hilt of your logic.
why are you
I'm
taking
going
it to my
hilt
logic?
deep.
Don't you have your own
all the
logic,
way to
man?
the hilt. I'm sinking it straight through your own skull. Do you see that now? You could not possibly know using your own logic that no one could possibly know.
Oh,
There you go.
boy.
You
This
refute
could be a
through your own
You don't
words.
do
possibly
too
a
well with
vapid
people, do
pile
you?
of nothingness.
You don't like it, do you? You don't like it.
When I say that there's no truth, what I'm saying is everyone's going to have their own opinions and ideas
Yeah,
and
well, we were
truths
closer to
and
the
versions.
truth back when I was telling
So
you
what?
about the actual
And I guess I
emails
can't
from
finish
the
the
Freedom of
sentence.
Information
I
Act.
could have finished that sentence, and then I would have gotten the
Yeah,
point
but it's
across.
no
It may
good.
have gone in a different
Anyway,
direction,
right?
but I wasn't
There's no
allowed to
truth.
finish.
Instead of babbling,
Remember
finish
that
the
time?
sentence.
Remember that time you're talking about how I
Finish
babble and
the
all that stuff?
sentence.
Oh, now I can finish it?
Finish the sentence. Quit babbling instead.
Next.
You can't
Yeah,
finish
that's
the
better.
sentence.
So anyway, why are you trying to be condescending to truthers?
Why would I ask, man?
Were you waiting for? Did you say next so you could interrupt
I'm
the
s-
next person that talks, or next you're just
Yeah.
going to start talking about the next subject?
You need a horn, Grim. When you do one of your zingers, you can.
Aruga.
Yeah, there you
they're
go.
all
Oh,
zingers
that-
when you're talking to me. For some reason, it's
You've
that
ruined
easy.
this entire show, and you should feel bad, Haunted.
I think he
I
made the
was too
show. I
close.
think he made the show haunted. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
Is that
I feel
true?
it too.
Yeah.
Is
Haunted,
that
you're
true?
the best.
True.
Without
what's
him,
going
it wouldn't
on.
have been as funny.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, how honest can you guys be? This is like a forum where we have 7 people on a panel who are engaged in seeking and spreading truth and
That's right.
fighting bullshit and things that are designed to deceive and all that other stuff.
We're
Blah,
fighting
blah, blah.
somebody
But
saying
here
there
we
is
are
no truth.
arguing.
Pharma
and I
or and biotech
see-
firms. Yeah, that
So
kind of
when
truth.
someone
Dude, you know the
speaks up,
truth.
like
The
all
truth
these
about
people
vaccines
they
causing.
jump up and they tell them it's this,
Are you
this,
gonna
and this, and
interrupt me
this.
the whole time?
And that's really difficult, you know. I'm
Well,
just trying to say what
You're just
hasn't
using
been
the word
said,
truth as an arbitrary joke, right? Every time you say it, I'm trying to clarify it. Truth about what? We talk about the truth about the
I'm sure
short
you talk
studies
about,
not
man.
showing enough.
I'm talking about
Holy
using this
shucks,
forum
guy.
to figure something
Hey.
out instead of fighting each other. But how stupid is it? to
While
see
you
7
try
people
to
but
start
you're gonna-
another fight. While you interrupt me to start another fight.
Forget it. Drop
As I'm
the whole
telling you,
thing. Let's
try
move
to
on. Let's
clarify
move
the
on. I don't care. I don't need the validation. Let's move on. I don't.
How
want
soon?
This
you
is
want.
supposed to
You're
be
not gonna
flat
drop a
Earth
bunch of-
debate. Is it
Right.
not supposed to be flat Earth debate, not
For what
backwards and-
purpose? Why debate when there is no truth?
I didn't say there was no
Yeah,
truth.
I wish one flat earther would bring something to the table.
How
This
many
is-
globe
I'll
earthers
wait.
have changed their mind, and how many flat earthers have changed their mind
Who
based on
knows?
any debate?
Any answer to that can't be true.
Loads of
Why are we
globers
talking?
changed their minds.
Why are we talking? Nothing we
That's
can say to each other
how
can be
people-
true.
That's
I
how the
don't know, what are
majority
you
of
talking
people
about?
become a
Kurt?
flat earther.
Yeah, but I'd say you got to define a glober as someone who knows the globe model rather than someone who's just
Right.
generally looked into it. Because that's like me, right? I wouldn't have said I was a glober. I just became a flat earther.
All right. I see.
Yeah,
I'll play the game. I got a few one-liners that I
This
use.
is not
Sure.
a game. That's part of your problem.
Dude, come
Game.
on, Kurt, lighten
It
up,
is his
man.
problem
You're
since the
really
beginning.
It's a game.
It's
He keeps
a
pretending
euphemism.
like he's
It's
not
an
playing the
expression. It's
Well,
an expression.
When people
You guys
run
just
around
jumped on me for
saying
saying-
things like there's no truth, then it's really
Yeah,
pointless
you
to talk to
misrepresent
them.
everybody else, too.
Curved forgot that it's a
chill
game.
out. Chill out.
By the way,
I said
sorry,
game.
mate, didn't find that footage for you.
I
Sorry.
know. It's okay. I don't expect you to. I'm just trying to point out the fact that you can't find it. That's all.
Right.
It's cool.
In fairness, actually, whilst just before I came on, I've still got on my screen. Is my camera on or off?
It's
But
on.
It's on. It's
On.
on.
Right.
You
Well,
don't
I
need
can't
to-
do anything because it says, unfortunately, Hangouts has stopped. So once again, I'm expecting it to cut out any minute. But
And there you go. Oh, no,
For real.
It's the soundtrack to my life.
What are
Hey,
we doing?
This is a good
Hey.
stream. I like it.
This is what happens.
So-
this is
Hey, Grim,
I was
Grim,
gonna- I was-
someone asked you a question. Asked you to explain how the double slit was debunked because the video shows a replicated 2-slit experiment.
No, it doesn't.
What's a
The video
debunk?
shows a one slit with a laser beam. It's completely different. It's not a 2-slit experiment at all.
All right.
It's to show
I'm gonna throw something. Okay, go ahead.
you need to watch the video.
I was gonna throw something. Can I do? Is there a clear enough room? I'm gonna go right in there. I was speaking to a physicist the other day. I was doing his car for him, and we were talking. He's a really cool guy. You know, he works on F-15s, phased array systems, radars, and all that shit. He smokes pot. He's got cool car. He's on the level. So I said, "What's up with that double split experiment?" I figured all I see is videos and books and whatever. He's like, "Well, I guess it's a wave and a particle at the same time. All of quantum theory is just theory because we can never experience quantum level anything." And that was pretty much no babble from me. But that was the gist of everything that would have taken another 10 minutes had you guys not schooled me before about my babble. So yeah, I babble a little bit. But that's what he said. It was pretty interesting. You know, he said it's a particle and a wave. And then we went, it's funny how it goes right to Schrodinger's cat.
What the textbooks always say and support. Yay, big deal. He didn't do anything special. Any 6th grader would have told you that.
Well, it's not really about that.
It's an argument of credulity.
But as Nick says,
you don't
it's a theory that's not discarded. It's a theory, but it models things well. It makes predictions. That's why it's not discarded. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
gravity was a theory, you know, but it predicts
Well,
things.
we're on the precipice right now of changing all of those things. That's these gravitationally based theories, and you know, gravity-based theories are being falsified right now. Big Bang falsified, black holes falsified, and so it's actually been falsified thousands of times. The funny thing is, they're not allowing allowing it for some reason yet. It's being held up dogmatically as if it's still true.
Isn't that because it actually works? Like whether it's true or not, the model works.
Invent a fake thing that doesn't even exist and you can't even touch to try to support the idea that no, it doesn't work. Dark matter? No, if you have to use these ad hoc ideas, then no, your theory is broken.
It works for some things, right? I mean, gravity is not totally useless, is it?
Well, it's like, you know,
Does Electric Universe get more views than Flat Earth?
Does it? That's because it's probably more like you're more likely to get into that, aren't you, than Flat Earth?
No, but I noticed that the simulation theory is getting quite a lot of views these days. And that's probably got to be more insane, hasn't it?
Well, I think it's got more weight behind it, hasn't it? Because
in the future, there is going to be like a simulation Earth because we're all going to have like fucking cyber implants and shit.
Curse. Hey, I got a question for the simulation guys. What is it a simulation of? The simulation is a simulation of something, right? I asked somebody about that, and they were like, "I don't know." That's a good question.
The world, I guess. I don't know.
So, wouldn't I need an original model for that? And I'm asking because I don't know that theory that well. I know James Gates and all that stuff, but
it's just basically like the movie The Matrix, right? Like we're all in like a computer-generated program or something.
I'd say even like the premise of Westworld, if you've seen that.
Okay, so then, right? Okay, yeah, I didn't like Westworld. I like the movie from the 70s.
Damn ass Google Hangouts has done it again.
So I was going to ask you guys for the Global.
But before you do, we've been joined by a new guest. So I've missed your name already. Let's just have a look.
It's David.
David, I think he's dropped already.
He's gone.
He's gone. Sorry to interrupt.
What I was going to say was, okay, so the globe are on the street. How do you prove the shape of the earth to yourself? How do you prove it to yourself? Like without any NASA faculty or without any assistance?
Stars,
stand there and prove it.
Stars, sun and moon and curvature over the horizon, boat setting, all that. Boats going over the curve. all that. It's easy. You don't need any
All right.
science.
Well, hold on. I'll run with
Just
that.
try once more. I'm really
we'll-
sorry it keeps
we'll say-
happening to
let's
you,
say-
Haunted. I'm sorry
Even
to
though
interrupt.
technically
We've been joined by
observing the stars, sun and
David
moon is
Blackson. Is that right? Can you just say a quick hello?
Sorry, Nathan.
Hello, hello.
Hey, David.
We just need
Hey,
you
David.
just need you to say
Cool,
something, so I know that you're not going to porn bomb the hangout. So if you can just say hello.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that guy on here before. It looks like he's just having tech issues. It's the guy with like the I think the native dude.
Oh yes, he was on yesterday.
Yeah, like Indian on a
Sun, moon,
an
stars.
Indian avatar.
Oh, he's gone.
Super easy.
All right. All right. So, what about the answer that he gave you? And he's back again.
Hiya, David.
Yeah. I'm thinking about what he said. Absolutely. I'm actually picturing an Earth with no civilization, like just bare land, bare terrain. So you're looking at the stars, and you're saying, all right, the stars are. What are you seeing? You're seeing the
There you go.
stars.
Well,
He's a
no,
really
hang
good
on.
girl.
In order to understand, I mean, if you from one spot, if you kept tracking the stars, then yeah, you'd realise that the sort of sky is a dome or whatever, or a sphere or whatever, or you might think that. But you need to be able to go around the world, right, from different locations and make observations from around the world for the stars point to really, to really hit home for you to realise it has to be a ball.
Right.
That's when you realise it has to be a ball. When you've made observations from different points around the world, and you all
Yeah,
make
you can't just do it from one point.
Right.
That's why they used to believe in the snow globe. That's where I think they used to believe in that sort of snow globe sort of dome thing, because that's from their point of view. There's a ball rolling around them, of different stars.
Well, see, I think you guys bring a lot of good points to the table that the flat earthers miss, and I think we bring a lot of good points to the table that the globers miss.
No.
And see, I'm a well, hold
Name
on,
one.
hold on. It's not a contest though. It's not a contest.
Well, it actually is.
If it were about,
Yeah,
if it were
it is.
about,
Fairness, it is a
if it were about
contest.
getting, if it were
I
about
can
getting
name
to
a
the most,
couple.
Everybody gets a medal. Everybody
I can
gets
name
a
a couple things.
participation ribbon.
Let P Mars give a flat Earth argument. Come on.
hold
They
on,
need
hold on.
help. They need
If we could
help.
both work together.
Certain
If
point.
we could both work together to figure out and get closer to the most accurate answers, because it
If one
seems
of
like
us
all
is
the
being
answers.
honest, then we could do that.
All right, sure, but I don't think there's any globers and flat people working together. See, that's what it is. It becomes
flat
a
earthers
fight.
reject everything. It's the problem.
Yeah.
This
I
is
don't.
true.
I don't.
Yeah,
hold
once
on,
you
I
label
don't-
yourself a flat
I don't-
earther, you're now a fanatic. There's no going back.
Okay, while these guys thrash it out in their little intro before we get some flat earth proof from Haunted, I'm going to do a few links as this show has around 10 minutes left to run. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the flat earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs along the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate with your watch page muted, simply click on the link in the info box below this video to join the debate live and express your views on the shape of the earth. There are only a couple of rules. Number one, please do not swear. You will be ejected, and if you are, please do not try to rejoin the show with a different sock account. Also, please share and like the stream if you are enjoying it.
What scares me is the 110,000 subs, and how many people are watching them and following them like it's gospel, and they don't realize this. That's the issue. That person needs to either break off with the YouTube subscribers and say, okay, if I keep, because they know what they're doing. They know that they're just doing general arguments.
Yeah, but I mean, look up
People are
hot dog
buying
eating
into it.
challenge or something. You got more people
Well, what's
doing
wrong
that
with
kind
that?
of crap. I wouldn't
But
really
there's
worry
nothing-
about it too much.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
I think more people watch vomit porn than think
Like-
about flat Earth.
But that's an
honestly.
elitist argument, though, because the guy
Dumb
who enjoys
stuff.
it's right,
Dumb
it's
stuff
dumb.
is popular. Like no one.
But don't
I
act
mean,
like you're above it, though. Don't act like you're above it. We all take.
Now, what's
we all take
disheartening also
poops.
is when they say this flat Earth will reach critical mass. But if you look at 9/11, surely that's critical mass, and nothing's changed.
Exactly,
Mass.
exactly, because no
Not
one's
one
doing
person
anything.
knows the Earth is flat, so there's no way to reach a critical mass at that
Yeah,
rate.
I'd say as well, you'd be completely. I think you're completely wrong about nothing's changed since 9/11, the critical mass, because now generally most people don't trust the government. We've seen all kinds of votes and things going that have gone completely against the media's like attempted, swaying of like big votes in America, England, all over all over Europe. People going against the establishment, against what the media is shoving down their throats. So I'd say it's not true to say that people haven't changed. I think if anything, the conspiracy would be that they know that's happening and they're controlling the opposition of all these things that people are voting. But
You know what?
yeah,
You know what
definitely
blows me
changed.
away?
I would agree with that. Fair play.
Yeah, absolutely. You know the guys who go after the predators, those sexual predators.
I think
Yeah.
that's intentional, Caterth, because like I think that they want to tear down the system right now and create a new one, and then they're gonna use us to do it, right? And they're gonna make us not believe in our government and things like that, and we're gonna destroy our own
Situations.
Exactly.
You know, it's a crazy idea, but we might want to concern ourselves with making sure that we know whether it's a globe or a flat Earth before going off and talking about flat Earth as if it's some real thing that matters when it's not even true.
It doesn't matter. I can't prove to you that it matters. You gotta be open to it. You gotta ask.
No.
You
You
gotta
can't
ask.
prove that the Earth is flat. You have no reason to really believe in face of all the evidence that the Earth is flat.
It
Flat
bothers you
Earth
that much?
is really invalid. And this is not about bothering. Why do you act like it's a legitimate thing when flat Earth does not exist other than a
Because the
bunch of
globe
people
exists
that
on screen
consider
and on paper.
themselves flat
It
earthers?
exists. It exists on screen and paper. That's where it exists.
The globe is observed.
No, not by me. I don't observe it. Where do
You
you
are
observe the
not.
globe?
You're not the arbiter of truth, dude. What you
Yes,
know
I
and
am.
don't know does not make any freaking difference to
There's only
reality.
to you, man.
No, to everybody.
How could I affect everyone?
Your beliefs don't change the facts of reality for anyone, except for the people that you're able to sway with your nonsense and non-truths,
Why
because
is it
you don't believe
nonsense?
truth exists.
Do you have nonsense, or is all your stuff tight, grade A, 100% solid?
Yeah, but
I'm top notch.
His own beliefs change his own reality.
Well, hey, man, I'm wrong then.
Subjectively,
sorry. You know what can I
it
do
does
to get
change
better?
reality.
Well, you can stop promoting nonsense like the idea that the Earth is flat.
All right. The last you'll hear about it from me.
I doubt that.
I mean, it'd be better.
But
It's less
you
about
didn't
you
even give me a
promoting it and more
chance.
about you understanding that it's not.
Well, you gave up. You gave up. Now, I did hear your
Are
show
you guys
the other day
open?
with you and Snack. You guys were funny at times, but you might want to look into maps a little bit more and the things that you say about them and correct your misunderstandings about what different maps show and why, how they're
Why are you wasting
projected.
your time here then, Curved?
I'm not wasting my time.
Because they say that the definition of repeating something over and over again and getting no result is insanity, yes?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm trying to learn about the reality in which I live in.
You're really belligerent.
That's good
Kurt.
because Kev's here
I'm
to
here.
teach you.
But you
We're
seem to know
talking
it.
about we're talking about the reality of the world you live in.
It seems like your
know
reality.
it all. So why
No.
do you be here?
It's not mine. I'm not the only one.
But there's a few guys on this panel that seem at least like they'd be open for a conversation.
I'm open to conversation about the topic. About the topic.
I don't think so.
I don't
I think
like derp and philosophy
No.
and going off onto irrelevant tangents.
Just so you know, guys, this show is going to end in about a couple of minutes' time.
Bad move. You should let it go, Nathan. That's my opinion.
Nathan, your show always gets way better like after 2 hours when you end it. It's seriously.
Hey, you know, my favorite parts of this stuff is when you guys are willing to listen to something. Because I'm willing to listen to something. It's a give and take situation. Sort of, somehow. But in here, you know, it's not a contest for me. I'm going to leave and go to work. And, you know, I didn't walk away with anything new. Dick.
No, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go and watch Globebusters.
What kind of shit drum set is that behind me?
And with that, I am going to say, first and foremost, a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of the live audience who have joined us on this live stream. Extra special thanks, of course, to the participants in the Hangout. For future Hangouts, if you would like to join the show, there is a link in the info box below each of these live streams. I've been Nathan Oakley. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe once this video has rendered, and I will see you all in the next video.